Puraskar Awards ceremony, National Awards for Social Justice and Citizen Action. These awards are presented to all those who realize the importance of adding value to the lives of others, who believe in making a difference, who come together as one from India and all across the world to right every wrong.
It is important to be a successful person, but it is more important to be a person of significance. These awards are presented to all those persons of significance who have taken up the responsibility of building a humane community, who have in Gandhiji's words found themselves by losing themselves in the service of others, who have encouraged social justice and citizen action, and through their continuous actions have inspired other citizens globally to do the same. The awards are held annually on the 26th of November, the day our constitutional pledge was adopted in the year 1949. We encourage this date as the National Social Justice and Citizen Action Day. On such person was Dr. Varghese Kurian, father of Milk Revolution in India, a Karmaveer awardee, as a mark of respect to him. Let us all observe a 2-minute silence.
Kindly stand up.
Thank you. I would now like to call upon Mr. Jerry to announce the campaign.
The late Shri Vasant Sate and late Shri N.L. Singh, they were our first chief patrons when we first launched the Right Every Wrong Conclave and the Karmaveer Puraskar way back in 2006. And I remember both of them made it a point to sit through the entire 2 days. And Shri N.L. Singh, who was very unwell at that time, came and spoke about the Constitution at length and unpacked the Constitution for everybody who attended. So they are our founding chief patrons. And Dr. Varghese Kurian, who we respected, was our first lifetime achievement awardee for the Karmaveer Puraskar in 2006. And he made it a point and he insisted that he would attend the ceremony, even though he was unwell and unfit to travel. So he came along with his wife, and recently when he passed away, I spoke to Joseph Puratur, who was his assistant for many, many years, and he was my link through whom I would communicate with Dr. Varghese Kurian. And Joseph told me that Dr. Kurian would very fondly remember the awards and say that these awards were most valuable and precious for him because he felt that these awards are given for what we've done for society, and an award which cannot really be fixed or lobbied for, but something that needs to be earned. Exactly my sentiment also. And what we want to do is we want to launch a campaign today, which is 1 million candles. Today is also Dr. Varghese Kurian's birthday. And we want to launch a campaign, 1 million candles, we are 1 billion people. And we need to get one Bharat Ratna for the one man who transformed the nation. He transformed the nation, he showed us the path. And the reason the Bharat Ratna is probably being denied to him is because I believe that he had taken a strong stand and had the courage of conviction to oppose Indira Gandhi during the emergency. And that is one of the reasons he's being denied this, because if he was one of the subservient sycophants, he would have been given the Bharat Ratna long ago. But the Bharat Ratna is being denied to Dr. Varghese Kurian even after his death. So we plan to make this a nationwide campaign, a global campaign if possible. And we want all your support for this. Thank you very much.
Now I would request everybody in the house to kindly join in the auspicious ceremony of lighting the lamp.
I would like to invite Mr. Mark Parkinson, Mr. Jerry, Mr. Anurag, Mr. Sukhbir Singh, Mr. Anuj Agarwal, Dr. David Rohr, Dr. Lal, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Zoravar and Varun. I will repeat the names: Mr. Mark Parkinson, Mr. Jerry, Mr. Anurag, Mr. Sukhbir Singh, Mr. Anuj Agarwal, Dr. David Rohr, Dr. Lal, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Zorawar, and Varun.
A humble request to all of you. This Rex is a very alternative platform that we've created. The whole idea is to kind of encourage rock star speakers who bring in ideas which could be action for transformation of society and to make a difference. And we've seen several speakers over the past 2 days. We also have very alternative performances, and we have some brilliant performances lined up today for you. We have the band Brigya playing, and my association with Brigya goes back almost a decade now. And they've performed at a fundraiser event that I do at the Gateway of India called The Sound of the Sea. And I'm happy that they're going to be performing today. They're also going to be awarded the Karmaveer Puraskar today. We have Aubrey Aloysius and Lorraine Aloysius who shall be performing. And we have the kids from the Ektara Foundation who shall be performing. They shall actually be kind of staging a play and a dance performance. And keeping in mind that this is an alternative platform, we rarely go, we've never gone with the professional compare. So we have two very bright young girls, Shriya and Sana, who are comparing the entire event and will be your hosts for the evening. So please do keep in mind that they are very young, they're still in college, and just bear with us if there are any errors. Thank you so much. May I also request Jyoti Nanda, who's actually our co-author and our supporter and has edited the book Karmakari, to join us on stage. Meenu Chopra, please join us on stage. Bosco Pereira, Hunar Brar, and my wife Chunu Grewal Almeida, if she can join us on stage, please. Please do bring your candles along. Bosco, Hunar and Meenu are the three pillars. I'm the half pillar over there, so they are working behind the scenes and put this all together. You may all please stand up with your candles, because we're now kind of beside the preamble now, which we gave to ourselves in 1949.
I would now request all of you to kindly repeat the pledge after me. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, ensuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Mr. Jerry to kindly address the gathering.
So, namaste, and I'm back again. Namaste. Can we have a louder namaste, please? The Eastern ethos, the Eastern philosophy. Namaste. Right. We have Pastor Eddie Smith, who teaches namaste in the US to all the kids over there, because he tries to teach them the basic human values to one word, namaste. But we in India have forgotten that. We did an entire session on this in the morning yesterday, so I won't repeat myself. I'll just take you through what we are trying to do with iCombo and the Karmaveer. Our basic mission is encouraging social justice and citizen action. It's not about charity, because we sincerely believe that it is not mindless and arrogant charity, but humble and involved social justice that is wanting in our world. And we actually say that it's time for people to stop giving money and start seeing how they can become the change. Yeah? And it's also time for NGOs to act beyond just asking people for money and try to get them involved with the greater purpose. That's what we try doing in 3 different spheres, which is with the NGOs, we try to tell them go beyond asking for money. With people, we say go beyond giving money, get involved in the process of change. And with the corporates also, we are working to say, let's promote humane capitalism. Let's not just have lip service CSR. Yeah. The core objective of the Right Every Wrong movement, and we are into the 7th year now, this is our 7th year, is to create awareness about our fundamental duties as citizens. You know, the 26th of November is what we promote as the Citizen Action Day, and we've been doing this for years now, for the past decade plus. And the significance of the day is that this is the day when we adopted the Constitution in 1949. But most people don't know anything about the Constitution. They don't know anything about the preamble. They don't know their own rights.
And I work with CXOs, I work with top executives, including directors and deans of universities and these schools, have no clue that the Constitution also has something called fundamental duties. Yeah? And the Constitution very clearly says that for people of India to enjoy their rights, we need to fulfill our fundamental duties. And that has been our mission, to promote humble and involved social justice through citizen action. About what can we do? You know, we believe that everyone can do something. But you know, most people end up saying, there's nothing I can do. And we say, try thinking about what is it that you can do. And that's what Right Every Wrong is all about. That how can we kind of make the big difference with our simple actions. And some of the awardees that you shall meet later are people who are making a difference in their world with their simple, small actions. And that's the energy that we try to harness in this 3 days over here. We've heard Margaret Mead's quote earlier today when Swarup Sampath did a rockstar speech at the Conclive. A small group of thoughtful people could change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And I can't stop tirelessly talking about this. That change has always been led by the few, never by the many. History of the world. Change has always been led by the few. So never underestimate your power. It is what Dalai Lama said, that if you think that you're small, try sleeping with a mosquito, right? Yeah. A lot of people attribute this quote to Anita Roddick, but it was actually said by Dalai Lama. Yeah. That's the Karmaveer genesis. We did something called Vision of India way back in 2004. We did something where we actually recognized the invisible leaders from across India, auto rickshaw drivers, slum dwellers who did something with Prince Charles's visit in 2004. And that's exactly when the thought of creating an award which, kind of as an egalitarian platform came into the mind, and we actually implemented it in 2006. Why the Karmaveer Awards? Because the only cure for all social political evils is the creation and discovery of more and more people heroes. We're trying to bring those people heroes, those crusaders, those champion of change to the fore. Yeah? The bedrock quote is that better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Let's stop pointing fingers at everybody and asking ourselves, what can I do? And try to figure out what is that little I can do with which I can be the change and make a difference. Happy to say that in the past 7 years, we've achieved what we set out to do. We've created an egalitarian platform and melting pot. Everyone from a captain of industry to a global citizen to global philanthropists to princes and princesses. Slum dwellers, sex workers have been awarded, and we want to keep it an egalitarian platform. We want to keep it very austere and simple. We don't want to go into 5-star hotels and make it glamorous or glitzy, because those are not our values. Yeah? And happy to say that again, for the past 7 years, we've been practicing very, very, deep measures of austerity, something that the world is talking about today. Countries are trying to practice austerity now because they have no other choice. Companies like Infosys and Tata are talking about austerity. Business travel has been cut short. But I think austerity is the only way of life. Yeah? Some of the things that we've been doing in the past 7 years at the Right Every Wrong Conclave. In the first conclave, which was the Curtain Raiser Conclave in 2006, we had discussed almost every issue under the sun. Right from HIV, AIDS to disability, electoral reforms to media responsibilities, CSR to corporate governance. And at that time we actually created the first model about building a livelihood skills training program called IT. And a lot of those measures have been adopted now by the National Skills Development Corporation. We also influenced the Planning Commission to start registering NGOs, something that we do through our Omega ratings. Yeah. In the second conclave, we spoke about climate change, and the knowledge churned at that forum was, the knowledge from there has been incorporated in some of the studies at the University of Peace in Costa Rica, and we also kind of influenced several other forums with the Art of the Living Foundation, with the UN and others. The third conclave in 2008 was on electoral reforms, yeah, and that led to several campaigns about engaging voters, no criminals, and we actually worked on electoral reforms for a long, long time. And this was done under the patronship of two chief election commissioners in that year, Mr. James Lingo and Mr. Krishnamurthy. And the document was given very recently to another election commissioner who is amongst us today, in our midst today, Mr. Qureshi, earlier this year, and Mr. Qureshi has already set up a committee to see about what can be done to kind of adopt progressive electoral reforms in this country. The fourth conclave in 2009 is when we started talking about how citizens need to fight against corruption. And again, proud to say that we started the crusade against corruption along with the UN in that year, albeit in a very, very silent way, where we are talking about influencing policy silently rather than making a big noise in the media. Yeah? In 2010, along with the Ministry of Home Affairs, we started the entire process of building a cadre of volunteers for communal harmony, for peace and communal harmony, with the National Foundation for Communal Harmony, which is under the aegis of the Ministry of Home Affairs. And the sixth conclave, which was last year, how citizens need to adopt the fundamental duties, was what our focus was on. And last year, we also announced that we would now be kind of moving to a larger platform, which is what it has become now. It's called REX. And REX has been kind of bringing in various ideas to the fore over the past 2 days. Some of the things that we've also done on the ground is work, and this again comes from a very deep belief that Goa, which is a very small state, can become the microcosm for change in India. Because if you can experiment in Goa, it doesn't cost too much money. And if you can take those experiments and replicate them in other states, then probably we could kind of create models of better governance, yeah, and create models which kind of build progressive systems for democracy to work. And we did some very blatant campaigns in Goa along with Armando and the Goa Forgiving Foundation. Very strong campaigns in the face. We spoke against people very fearlessly in public forums, because at that time Goa was being governed by Ali Baba and the 40 thieves, as we call them, because the entire cabinet was full of thieves, murderers and rapists. Yeah? And the campaign, which was done just 2 weeks before the elections, had a huge turnaround because the people of Goa responded to the campaign and decided to oust all those thugs. And the campaign, as you see, when you vote and elect thugs, do you expect clean, corruption-free governance? So in the face, it had to be fearless. Yeah. We also worked in the state elections later on, and we tried to kind of bring in good people, and we supported two candidates. One was a priest who left the church and decided to fight elections, and the other was a dentist, Dr. Hubert Gomes, who decided to fight elections, and we supported them, and that gave the people of Goa hope that you don't need to just rely on criminals who are running government. And it probably showed in the elections, because we have a very good chief minister in Goa now. I don't work with the party because I'm non-partisan and apolitical, but I work with the individual, and there are various other good people who come into the cabinet here. Okay? So that's REX. This is how it looked when we presented it last year. And the new logo, as you see, it's all around. It's based on 3 pillars: right every wrong actions, exciting and entertaining ideas, and social innovation and entrepreneurs. And how are we different from several other platforms? We've decided that our platform will always be austere and simple. It will be fearless and candid. We won't hesitate to take stands and speak against socio-political evils and people who are doing those evils. Yeah? We won't accept blood money ever. That's a founding principle. And we will sustain this purely on integrity and resourcefulness. That's how we are different. Yeah? The Karmaveer Puraskar has been happening for 7 years. This year we are launching the Rex Karmaveer Global Fellowships. And I'm happy to see that there's a lot of energy where people are kind of finding synergies to work with each other. And everyone's kind of speaking about how we need to build groups online where they can stay in touch with each other and interact with each other. We have with us Shivani and Yogesh Puja in this room, and Shivani and Yogesh have already built a website for us called writeeverywrong.com. You can just go up there and post everything that you're doing and connect with people. And some of our ex-fellows have agreed that they would kind of lead the process of creating a Facebook group and a Twitter group, whatever. So we hand it over to you. Take it over and please run it over. Yeah? We can't run everything. We're a very small team of 350 people, but actually in the real number is 3.5 people. Yeah. So that's the team. So this is the Karmaveer Chakra that we launched with the UN, and that's going to be accompanied and given as a citation along with the medal to all our ex-Karmaveer Global Fellows. Based on this simple quote by Bernard Malamud, which says, "Without heroes, we are all plain people and don't know how far we can go." So let's get inspired and let's go and inspire people out there. Some of the things that have happened in the past few years, various partnerships have been forged. There's Armando and Parthu Bomik, who came together to work and create partnerships for change. Dr. Sailesh Rao and Pamela found synergies to work on the issue of environment. Yeah. Meera Sanyal, who decided to contest independently in Bombay against all the powers to be. There's a young boy of 16 years over there, Pranay Kohli, who actually kind of has created huge camaraderie between the tiger and the communities and actually kind of made people in the community understand that you don't need to kill the tiger. You need to kind of work and see how you can live with the tiger. So there's huge wisdom out there even amongst young students and children. Yeah. So that's about that. Some trivia. The first ceremony where we had the awards, where Dr. Varghese Kurian was awarded, Anu Aga was also awarded, and she came and told me that it's the most humble, austere and simple award ceremony I've ever attended. And it kind of inspired us to say that we have to keep it austere, simple and humble. Charul and Vinay, who are two musicians, they're like wandering minstrels. They're basically architects who've given up their practice and go around, all around India, with the Ektara singing songs, empowering communities how they can use right to information as a tool. And Charul and Vinay had performed there. And of all the performances that were there, they had 3 encores, so they had to kind of keep rising. And that's the power of simplicity. Yeah. So they performed with the Ektara and got 3 encores. Yeah. In 2008, when we launched our crusade with the UN on corruption, Anna Hazare was nominated and selected, but we've not been able to give him the award because we the award in absentia. In 2008, we also received the nomination of Carlos Santana, who runs the Milagro Foundation. All of you know him as a musician, but he's also a huge humanitarian and he does a lot of work through his foundation. Again, we couldn't give him the award because we don't give the awards in absentia. Yeah. Something which really touched me, that's Jyoti and MC Raj over there, who were our awardees in 2010, and they wrote in their blog, the Brahmins came and touched our feet and addressed us as their Ammachi and Appachi. It was not out of ignorance, it was after knowing very well that we are Dalits. Yeah? Huge work being done in the Dalit community out there, and they were our awards in 2010. Brad Lee, who kind of graced the occasion and helped us and supported us to launch the Youth Awards and the Student Awards. And I won't name the people for being politically correct, but 2 brothers from a large finance and investment company actually offered us they proposed to us that they are ready to buy off our award. And we told them you can go to some newspaper company because we don't sell awards. You can only earn the Karmaveer Puraskar, you can't buy it or you can't lobby for it. Yeah. So that's some trivia over there. The road ahead, we are planning to publish our first book, Karma Kari, for the mind, body, heart and soul. Jyoti Nanda, who's edited all the stories, and we have several stories of our erstwhile Karmaveer awardees, and we hope that the book is going to kind of be launched in the first quarter of 2013. And we've been working on this for 1 year now. It's going to be a series of books, and the whole idea is to take out the stories, take the stories of the Karmaveer awardees to the world and inspire them further. And we're also planning to do a small program called training program in schools, colleges, and B-schools, and kind of tentatively named it Character-Rooted Leadership Through Voluntary Action. Because it's scientifically proven that volunteering increases the initiative in people, right? Because when you volunteer, you do it of your own initiative. So you have much more initiative in life as a business professional or a media professional or whatever people choose to do. Stop waiting for a hero. we don't need to wait for another Mahatma, we don't need to wait for an Anna or any other hero, we need to do it ourselves. You can kill, harm, exile, imprison, destroy, defame a person, but not an idea. You can co-opt, corrupt a person, but not an idea. That becomes a collective movement and ideology. This collective ideology cannot be killed, harmed, exiled, imprisoned, destroyed, defamed, co-opted or corrupted. This shall always prevail and stay as an ideology of the people collectively. That is what we believe in. We don't want to promote any one individual. It has to be collective ideology, because you can't kill that. I sincerely believe that if given the power, I can get corrupted too, because I'm not above anybody else. But the point is, how do you stay within your limitations? How do you stay humble and try to continue the good work that you're doing? So it's got to be a collective ideology which kind of takes shape. It's been a tough fight to sustain this movement, especially when we say no to blood money. Earlier this year, we floated a tender and we thought we would take this event to the next scale. But unfortunately, most event managers can't think beyond 5-star hotels. And that's not our value, so we can't go into 5-star hotels. And when we floated the tender, our next document, the terms of reference that we gave them, had names of companies that you would never accept money from. And they said, hey, this won't work because we could get you 2 crores or 3 crores. And we said, no, but that's not the point. We don't want blood money. So we decided that we will try and go to the community itself, and we went to our erstwhile Karmaveer awardees and said, we need support to sustain our integrity and courage of conviction. And happy that a lot of people responded and want to support us. So that's where we stand. Thank you, and enjoy the evening. Meet some brilliant Karmaveer awardees and listen to some great performances. Thank you so much.